Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, the Republicans were expecting a red wave to overtake Congress this past week, and obviously that did not happen. Uh, you know, but we see this kind of thing all the time in politics. Uh, Predictions of these major, like landslides and tipping of balance of power. Uh, that's not a surprise. And I could actually see why they would think that they were going to have a massive victory with over 1 million voters this year, changing their registration from Democrat to Republican. But, you know, as of right now, the Democrats have lost control of the House, the majority. And so far, the Senate is just riding on one runoff that is going to happen in Georgia. So, what is going to happen in Georgia is a very big thing. There's a lot of things to take into account here. Number one, the balance of power there was largely it's a very close race, hence the runoff. The 2% that did not vote either Democrat or Republican voted Libertarian. So ask yourself whether Libertarians are more likely to vote Republican or Democrat. And then you've got the fact that in runoff elections, and elections in general, historically, Republicans are more likely to actually go out and vote than Democrats, registered Democrats are. So that's a good part of it. But no matter how, that's not even the point that I'm making here. The fact is that there actually was a red wave that happened, and people just are not going to admit to this. You consider the fact that, you still got Manchin and Sinema and a number of dinos, Democrats in name only, that are still in office. Jimmy Dore used to have this saying that people would rather vote for a Republican who says that they're a Republican rather than vote for a Republican who claims to be a Democrat. And we don't really have any actual Democrats in Congress at this time. None. They're all Republicans. They are all, right wing. Obama himself said that in the 1980s he would have been considered a moderate Republican. A moderate Republican during the Reagan administration. He was very specific about that. And most of the so-called Democrats that are in Congress right now are to the right of Obama. When I was living in New Mexico, at one point, I voted for the Republican candidate because the Republican candidate for governor was to the left of the so-called Democrat candidate for office. And there have been a number of times in my life that I have done this because I always voted to the left. I vote based on policy, not based on party. I don't care about party. They are cults. And if you support any party at all, red, blue, I don't care who they are, then you are a cult member. That's all you are if you support whatever the party does because the party And because you label yourself, you brand yourself as this member of this cult, you're defending whatever atrocities that they do. More wars, more money going to extend wars, ramping up tensions with two nuclear powers. For this purpose, I was actually hoping that the Democrats were going to lose the majority. It is a positive that they at least lost the majority in the House for this purpose. Am I in favor of women's rights? Yes, absolutely. Yes, the Republicans will probably try to do a lot of damage. But all of this is all theater. The 2017 tax cut for the wealthy, under Trump, the Democrats in the majority actually voted in favor of this. How Roe versus Wade, the Democrats have had 50 years to codify Roe versus Wade into law. Obama had this as part of his platform. And when he got elected, he said, well, it's not a priority. And it continued to not be a priority for 8 years. Biden had this as part of his platform. Didn't do anything about it. Could have done that in his first 100 days. Didn't do it. And now look where we're at. The last increase to the minimum wage was in 2009, and that was the last stage of 3 increases to the minimum wage, which were voted into law and signed by George W. Bush. It had nothing to do with the Obama administration at all. Every rescue package that has gone through, most of that has gone to corporations and the wealthy. It has not gone to the people that need it. It doesn't matter which party you think you're voting for. You may have more rights for transgender people at the federal level, but then a lot of that comes down to state level. So it doesn't particularly change anything. We have increasing censorship, eroding rights to your freedom of speech, inflation, which I have explained very clearly how inflation could be reined in, how Richard Nixon, as Republican as you can get at the time, imposed price caps. And yet, right now, where we're at, are we seeing any price caps on anything? We're selling oil and gas to Europe at a 400% markup for them over last year, which is causing energy prices in the United States to go up. So you're paying for that. It doesn't matter. Both parties are to the right. They are both red. So yes, we did have a massive red wave. They may not label it as such, but that's exactly what happened. We need third parties, fourth parties. I mean, the last Russian presidential election had 12 or more parties represented on the debate stage. Nearly every country on earth has many parties, not just 2. We are the only major country that has only two parties, the duopoly, that doesn't give you any actual choice. It takes one option is a mandate. Two options are an ultimatum. It takes at least three options to become a choice. And yet, Americans will just keep on voting back and forth between the Republicans and the Democrats, which are all slaves to corporate power, to corporate money. We don't have a Democratic Party. We don't have progressives in Congress. And don't get me started on Bernie Sanders, who is just a slave to the Democrats, to the DNC. He doesn't actually do anything. He is not against warfare. As far as the Iraq War was concerned, yeah, he voted against the invasion once and then voted in favor of it twice. And aside from that, he has never voted against any military intervention by the United States, not once. So the fact that he even voted against that once and voted in favor of it twice just meant he was waiting for some kind of a payoff. And he obviously got it. And that's all that any of these people are doing. They're waiting for their own personal payoff. Yeah, all you got are tweets and talking points. That's it. That's all. And those tweets and talking points are intended to get you riled up, to keep you divided, to keep you against each other's throats, when most of our concerns are actually very similar. When we talk about things rationally instead of just using emotions to try and get you worked up, we agree across party lines in this country on more things than we disagree on. Until you get to the congressional level, until you get up and higher, the higher you go, the more they are against you and in favor of themselves. Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can afford it, please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.